I go to the Buddha for refuge.
Dhammam Saranam Gacchami.
Go to the Dhamma for refuge.
Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
I go to the Sangha for refuge.
Dutiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami.
For a second time, I go to the Buddha for refuge.
Dutiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami.
For a second time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge.
Dutiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
For a second time, I go to the Sangha for refuge.
Tatiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami.
For a third time, I go to the Buddha for refuge.
Tatiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami.
For a third time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge.
Tatiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
For a third time, I go to Sangha for refuge.
Ato Panchasil. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from destroying living creatures.
Adina Dana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given.
Kame Sumichachara Veramanu Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
I undertake the precepts to refrain from sexual misconduct.
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
I undertake the precepts to refrain from incorrect speech.
Sura Miraya Maja Pamatathana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
I undertake the precept to refrain from intoxicating drinks and drugs which lead to carelessness.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Mr. Subhai, अतुकी लिपो कार्यक्रम योने वयो सिलसिला बुद्ध धर्म विषय छक्ष द्वारा जीत जी NCSMO member जी बाजू रविन्द्र श्रेष्ठ जीवाटा थन स्टेज साइड जी इनादेन चना
So we would like to call upon Mr. Ravindra Shrestha to read about Buddha.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, and rest of the other members from other Nikase members and some people from downtown as well. Welcome. So I won't take a lot of time of yours. A lot of people talk about Buddhism. One thing I really want to emphasize, just 5 minutes, I'll just take 5 minutes. Buddha never taught ism. So this is something we really need to understand. Buddha, the technique that he gave us, the meditation technique, which actually given to the whole humankind, because the problem is universal. So the suffering is there for every human being, whether it's a Christian, whether it's Hindu, or whether it's Muslim. So since the suffering is same, the solution has to be same as well. So Buddha left his kingdom in search of the truth. Why people suffer? That's all he wants to know. And what is the solution for that? So we all know. I would just ask in this room, don't we all know that we shouldn't lie? But don't we lie once in a while? We do. Why? Don't you think thieves know that they shouldn't steal? They do. But they still steal. We know what needs to be done. But why we don't act upon it? That's the question. So that's why just by mere speech or just by reading books, you can never achieve this. Of course, you can, it could be a guide. For example, it's just like learning swimming. So if somebody says, okay, how can I learn swimming? You can read guides, you can talk to all the swimmers in the world, the top swimmers in the world, and you probably learn a little bit like, okay, this is how I need to, move my hands and legs. But until you swim, until you jump into the pool, there's no way you can learn swimming. That's exactly what Buddha told everybody, that don't even believe me. That's what he said. He said, just don't follow what I said. The knowledge that you gain from books or from the teaching is called, I forgot the Pali words, but there's two kind of knowledge. First knowledge is by the books, that you also gain knowledge. It's not that you don't. But the experiential knowledge, the knowledge that you gain from experience, can never be lost. And that is something that really is valuable. So I'll tell you my story. I'm not Buddhist, and I always say Buddha never taught any ism. So as Dr. Claire said, it's there's a similarity in all the religion, and I think Jesus also never taught Christianity. Jesus was also one of the enlightened one, just like Buddha was. When Jesus was crucified, he said, please forgive those people who actually nailed me. So how do you think we can do that? No. If somebody just slap you on your face, do you think we can give another cheek? No. Why? Because you have lots of anger in you. You have so much hatred inside you. But we know we have to get rid of those hatred. But that how part was lost in almost every I hate to say religion, but in almost every religion, even in Buddha time, that was lost because people were worshipping all the statues and all the shell part of it. The nut part was lost. It was there in Indian subcontinent. When Buddha was enlightened, he said this technique was there even before Buddha is a title, right? So it's a title. His name is Siddhartha Gautama. So Buddha, there were so many Buddha even before Buddha was born, and there are so many Buddha actually after, and there are so many Buddha even now, because whoever attains the enlightenment is called Buddha. So what do you mean by enlightened? Like, I'm a technical person. I'm an engineer, so I always think about rationally. I have to think rationally. What does enlightenment mean? Like, is there a big light behind, or is it something else? No, enlightened means if the person is completely eradicated, if the person eradicated its craving and aversion, then you are pure, then you are enlightened, because that is the main cause of your sorrow. And I've heard that from my childhood that, hey, you shouldn't crave too much, because that's the main cause of your pain, your suffering. But I don't know how, because every